was taking off my beanie, stepping into the chill and the slowness of the season. Super simple to enter into your breath through your nostrils, through your mouth, anything when the air is cold. Also through your finite hairs and sensory system that has us just wake up into awareness, because so many ways of waking up into awareness will kind of eventually get into the purge, and how gnarly that can be. Sometimes it's enjoyable, sometimes it's really hard and really disgusting at first, and then you feel what's going on, and then it gets very beautiful. But on mushrooms, I've never thrown up on mushrooms, but I know a couple people who have, and this is a long time ago, right? I'm flying and going through the fractalization of tunnels and mandalas and lots of visuals in there. That will happen with the purge as well, when you're purging your emotions and you're finally like stepping out of, like for me, I felt bitterness, tasted bitterness, woke up after my awakening, and on the third day I woke again and again and again and again and again. Just kept following psychology, because it will explain itself to you. It will tell you, okay, I'm alive. This was, my own experience. I woke up in the morning after going through digging into the lone wolf mentality and that victimization, that victim mentality. It really does some strange things to us and our opportunities and our life and our relationships, and sort of creates these reasons of sharing any information with anybody and trying to like help anybody through any of their spiritual awakenings and awareness itself, emotions, situations, relationships, life. It's all loving life, reorganizing life with yourself and your relationship with life and your reasons and your purpose. But that lone wolf mentality really does have us feel segregated, separated, singled out, and our assumptions of get very self-abusive, instead of seeing it, doing a little mental exercises, right? Like seeing it as the stage of life, because we are putting on a play. This is a play for enjoyment and sharing that. And then how we show up to moments and situations turn into exasperating, abusive expressions of friendship, right? How like our parents used to argue. We feel like, well, we kind of got to argue to get our point across. Get passionate to get our points across. How else is anyone going to hear us, right? Kind of feeling that thin layer of abandonment. I know it doesn't seem like abandonment, doesn't feel like abandonment, it doesn't look like abandonment to us, but while we're inside of feeling left out in any way, or not being heard, or so many different mental pivots and shifts to be taken, to have an ego death, to feel as if you've surrendered into the help that's always been there, the message and the energy that's drawing you through and to all of your potential with limitless opportunities, and building your own life. Like, being able to have some things on your terms and allowing everyone else like next door to just have that too. And we kind of just share this and sort of hopefully come together sometime, somewhere, like again and again and again and again, and then just slowly stop leaving bad tastes in our mouth, in our friends, family, and so on and so forth. It gets sort of simplified, but everything is simple. And here's Prudence coming on her little walk and talk with us too. She's simplifying it up. It gets really complicated too, because like, what's the reason? Where's our purpose? Where's our something? Who's our somebody? Somebody's gonna hear it. And feeling like we're not being heard turns into desperation, kind of reaching in ways. Pity parties that don't feel like pity parties. We're just kind of complaining and getting upset about it. But in there's some self-realization to just be thought about and sort of like the Wolverine waking up and Hugh Jackman talking about playing the role for Wolverine. He was taking a cold shower and his wife was sleeping. His baby was sleeping. So he had to like fight everything to not scream out just because it was so cold and it was so waking him up. And then we see the birthing of everyone taking cold showers the couple years back, right? And then the ALS challenge and just awareness, consciousness itself. Everything that's ever happened is consciousness itself. We are either a slave to the ego or a slave to the divine, and they are both the same thing. Just like the light and the dark are both absolutely blinding. Pitch black, you are just like looking right at the beliefs, the ideas that we think are the truth. And the truth never holds anything against anyone. The truth actually loves all of our beliefs. Our belief is how we like add passion and emotion to our action and make it all happen. So, definitely manifestation's part of the process. We're just here learning from information, from everything. Everything is information. And kind of coming out of that lone wolf mentality, because it really truly is a mental cave in which we dwell. We'll either create a mental cave of comfort sanctuary or a mental cave of assumed attack. And as we think of the future, that rips us out of the now, creating us to spiral into the past. Sort of like when we're driving home and what we're paying attention to in the day, instead of looking forward to going home to your beautiful family, right? Like, how do some people just like love it while they're at work all day, doing all this stuff, putting up with all these other people's bad attitudes, bad habits of treating each other. And then in between all this, we're thrown in sort of to that fog, to that side of domestic violence that is sort of taking your home problems and pushing them onto your friends that are not able to handle it, and then your work friends aren't really there other than the same kind of thing that they're doing too, because they're doing the same stuff. Like most of everyone is focused on what they're focused on, and there's a 5 percentile in everything. Like, I don't know, remember what it is now with like the ability to provide for yourself. There's a breadwinner, and then most everyone is kind of trickling down off of financially, being able to self-sustain, right? Where is any of our energy going? And then why do we get upset about not being able to prioritize, not being able to organize, not being able to keep ourselves in line and control those habits of emotional explosions, right? So all of this turns into the purge again, as we reflect and go through our shadows and look ourselves in the mirror, and actually be really serious with ourselves. It gets kind of really serious. It gets kind of spooky sometimes. It's the subconscious is a little different than everyone sort of leaves up in the air all vaguely. The subconscious is definitely accessing every thought that there ever was, infinite intelligence itself. So controlling your brainwaves does set you into some things to find yourself, right? And finding yourself is as easy as it can be. So we'll get into all of this, all that, and the other, with these out-of-body experiences and near-death experiences. Most of them have been blocked out. I mean, like, even before there's a couple at a real young age, before I was able to walk, crawling and things. I can't remember this one. I'm told of this one. So it was before 3 years old, before that part of the brain that forms mental pictures was formed. I was on a 2-story deck. You kind of walk up these stairs to get to where the apartment was. The door was open, and I was kind of out on the deck, and I kind of crawled over to the edge and looking down and just kind of went. And my big brother dove right across the deck, grabbed me by my freaking little back heel and saved me. I kind of saw one of those videos yesterday of super parents saving their kids as they're falling, and like catch them and stuff, and just reminded me of how my big brother kept me alive before I was even able to thrive, and just has become just an enormous inspiration in my life. He's such a powerful entrepreneur. He's such a powerful individual. It's just miraculous. So kind of being able to find my way back to seeing his footprints left through the woods along the way, because like we're, especially all three of us, we kind of all very similar, and just kind of no, I'm going my own way through life, and then just everything circles back. Some dreams are triggered right now of like finding myself in the cold in the winter, and there's just home. You just know where home is, and then kind of going to sleep in the snow, or coming all the way home. So indeed, I know I touched base on quite a few things, and we're running out of time. Just to never run out of time. I just don't want to take up too much of your time. Please definitely like, subscribe, ring the little bell, all that jazz. And thank you so much. Wishing you stillness, sending you stillness and bliss, awareness, a calm state of awareness where you're just able to rationalize and process. So just kind of slow it all down. Let those defensive mechanisms wash away. And we'll get into more of the victim mentality, the lone wolf mentality, the baby footsteps of success, and so much more coming soon. The psychology behind success, how you can take hold of your life and how you can build momentum, build inspiration, just be able to do all this stuff on your own for yourself, because there is an inner guru, there is an inner coach, there is an inner critic, there is an ability to just be comfortable with where you are, what you have, and see that everything that you're doing externally is a process as well as enjoyable and entertainment. So we can work on our physical physique, and that builds awareness. We can work on thinking and processing information. That builds awareness. We can eat different foods, experience different cultures, travel different places, and once you're there, you're there. So you know how no matter where you go, there you are. The world is just waiting for you to kind of turn yourself inside out and allow all of the bliss, all of the miraculousness to unfold, and just show you that I'm alive. I'm waiting for you to feel alive and connect with being alive to do all of this. And it's just a walking meditation, even back and forth with you here and now has sparked more and more awareness and vitality, sort of just feeling your body pop in and out of existence on a molecular level is just something that you set into motion, into a subconscious program that runs on its own after you do it for long enough. 21 days to change. So we'll be getting into that as well with Becoming a Finisher, a book that I have ready for you guys. And I got to get the audiobook done and finish the online course and class, because they're, yes, it's a great book. It will put you in an alpha state of awareness. It will expand your ways of thinking in different ways. It'll show you how to make mental pivots. It'll take you through wanting to read again, being able to feel like you're flowing through reading again. It will draw you into flow. Anytime you allow yourself to read and kind of work through your the wall, similar to Neil Armstrong or any long distance biking or running, and you go through your emotions and you go into doubt and I can't go anymore, I can't do it, and then you catch your second wind and you're going through it again, and you go through this and through this and through this until your body actually can't turn off, and it should have given up, and that's hitting the wall, and you go past the finish line and you just keep running or keep riding and or fall and kind of keep running into the ground. And the CNS, the central nervous system, is on autopilot at that point and kind of doing something you've already set into motion with human will, with intention, dedication, all these different things that just, they can be healthy, they can be unhealthy, we can come to terms with it all and kind of morph into balance with everything and just play with it all, have fun with it, and share and teach the next generation how to have a beautiful, beautiful world. Namaste. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your support. Thank you for staying this long. I know it keeps getting longer. It just means the world to me to be able to share things like this now and not be so angry and frustrated and trapped inside my own head and overthinking everything and just kind of feeling that I was all alone, that there was no one really gets me, right? Like we all kind of like stamp out of the room. You don't understand what I'm saying. We kind of start getting louder and louder because no one kind of hears us, and everyone hears us. So namaste. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend.